proclamation in recognition of Childhood Cancer Awareness. Right on cue. Good job. I was reading slow, just so you know. Whereas childhood cancer is the leading cause of death by disease in children, with 1 in 285 children in the United States being diagnosed by their 20th birthday. And whereas 46 children per day, or 16,790 children per year, are diagnosed with cancer in this country, with approximately 40,000 children on active treatment at any given time. And whereas 2/3 of childhood cancer patients will have chronic health conditions as a result of their treatment toxicity, with 1/4 being classified as severe to life-threatening. And whereas approximately 1/2 of cancer families rate the associated financial toxicity with out-of-pocket expenses as considerable to severe. And whereas in the last 20 years, only 4 new drugs have been approved by the FDA to specifically treat childhood cancer. Therefore, the Salem County Board of County Commissioners does hereby proclaim September 22 to be Child Cancer Awareness Month. We encourage residents to observe Childhood Cancer Awareness Month and support this cause that so deeply impacts families in our community and throughout the country. And I want to give special recognition to our 2 families here tonight. I'm sure that you probably didn't know what William's tumor was a few years ago. And that's certainly something that has been more successfully treated over time. And neuroblastoma for little Lulu. And not only did Lulu survive her bout with neuroblastoma and is doing so well, but she was successful in doing something I have not been able to do in almost 4 years, and that's entice my wife to attend. So Lulu, hats off to you. Brother Enzo, please come up and join us so we can present you with these certificates. Oh, yes. I'm going to have everybody come up and then allow Beth to make her pitch. You know what the pitch anyways.
Yeah, go back.
Enzo's good morning.
So I'm Assemblywoman Beth Sawyer. I'm representing Salem County, and they say something really doesn't hit home until it's really close to home. Carrie is one of my dear friends. I always say she's the little sister I never had. I actually talked to Carrie on the day that she was giving birth to Lulu, as Carrie always is in true form, always working, was still working. She was sitting in her hospital bed, ready to go into labor, and delivered who I refer to as Lulu, this beautiful baby girl here. Later that night, Carrie had sent me a photograph. It
Lulu
was
throwing things at you just so you know.
a picture of Lulu, and that's when she told me that Lulu was born with neuroblastoma. She had a growth on the side of her neck. And I knew that I had to do one thing, and that was to pray really hard that our Lulu would be safe and that she would be cured and that she would have a long life ahead of her. And she is doing a phenomenal job. And a large part of that is the support that she's receiving from her family and from her friends. Little Miss Laurel, you are a true hero. You are a strong fighter, and I'm going to continue to pray for you. Beautiful. So on behalf of our 3rd legislative district and of all of New Jersey, I'm going to present both of these beautiful baby girls with proclamations from the state because they are true cancer childhood superheroes.
Carrie, do you or your family have anything you want to say, or the other family, would you like to say anything?
I mean, there's a lot to say, especially when it comes to childhood cancer awareness and, the awareness that's really not out there until you are in the shoes of a child who is currently fighting cancer. So it's kind of funny, Stephanie and I went to school together back in Upper Pittsburgh, and we reconnected because both of our children have cancer. So it's really nice to have, it's really nice but very unfortunate to have to step back into the shoes of rekindling a friendship because both your children are going through the same exact thing.
folks that have less than 100 Mbps download and 20 Mbps upload, which is a lot of our counties. $1 billion in funding, which is part of the reason why we're applying, and a 30% match. The total project, as we see it today, is about $29.7 million. And so what we're doing is the middle mile essentially creates an opportunity from the west through Salem, and then from the east through Cumberland, connecting 2 rings, fiber rings, that will have redundancy from the east and the west. And the point of that obviously is that we have an issue on the western side of the ring. We want to make sure that we have redundancy on the other side. The middle mile is not the infrastructure that will connect households. The middle mile is the infrastructure that will make it possible for entities such as Verizon, such as Comcast, and other small ISPs, including the city of Vineland, who's going to put together its own ISP, to provide the last mile by connecting to the middle mile. You say, so how does that help, and how is that different than the existing infrastructure we have with Verizon and Comcast? Because the county controls the fiber, it essentially controls the pricing. And so to the extent that it makes sense to charge a different price to the households that are harder to reach, then it creates an opportunity for smaller ISPs to connect to that fiber network that we're creating to provide the last mile to residences. And so, because again, the county owns the infrastructure, it can create that opportunity that typically wouldn't exist. And obviously, from a small ISP perspective, they don't have the capacity, the financial capacity to build that infrastructure. So we build the infrastructure, and then we allow folks to connect in the middle mile to connect to households. Project benefits faster, more reliable internet, obviously strengthening cellular communication, so there will be a cellular component. We'll be connecting to existing assets throughout the 2 counties to enhance mobile communication. Bolstering E911, so where the fiber is going to be connected to the infrastructure that currently exists to connect the 911 systems and bolster that and enhance that opportunity. Talked about anchor institutions and creating a more competitive environment. We're not competing against Comcast. We're not competing against Verizon. We can't. We're just creating an opportunity that doesn't exist today for those folks who don't have consistent, reliable internet. Middle mile infrastructure, there are 88.5 miles in Cumberland, 64.3 miles in Salem, 14.6 miles to interconnect both counties, and then 47 miles to connect the ring, which are the points of presence, as I said, east to Cumberland, west to Salem. And again, that's before it integrates with the 911. Overstated service areas. One of the big issues we have is the information that's being used to determine whether or not communities are served is the FCC 477 data. The 477 data is skewed because you don't have a large population in certain areas. You have 100 homes, 2 of them are served. That entire census tract becomes served. And so when you take a look at the map, the FCC map, there's a lot of green, which shows that a lot of places are being served. Certainly those of you who live in the communities understand that those communities that are currently green on the map are not being served. So that's something that we have to deal with. We've spoken with our federal legislators. They're writing letters of support. They're also contacting the NPIA. They're also contacting folks in DC to make sure that everyone understands that the existing mapping is being utilized. They do to some extent. There's new mapping that's coming out. Unfortunately, the new mapping won't be available until November. Applications are due September 30th. So that's an issue. So as I said, we're refining the map. We're making people aware of what's going on. Estimated project costs are about $29.7 million. Still working through that. There's a match requirement. We're still working through that. Assets that are being utilized for the project will count as matched. So again, all of those things will bring down the 30%. Not exactly sure where we're going to be with regard to each community, but it will be something less than 30% of the total that's being requested. The project schedule certainly will be dictated by the application and how quickly the application runs through. We believe we can get the project as planned completed in the 24-month period. So we'll start planning and doing things, and obviously start the bidding process. For those of you who are involved in construction or trying to get anything done at your home, you know that some biggest issue we have, to be very frank with you, has been supply chain, has been making sure that we have the materials necessary. Things have gotten better over the last 30 days, 30 to 60 days. Now you can see things happening because physically, you know, the metal studs are going up. You can start to see what the building is going to look like. We have parts and pieces everywhere. If we can order something today and store it on site, we're doing that. So right now we're about 30 days, about 15 to 20 days behind the original schedule, which puts us into February, March. So we're still on target, moving people, getting ready to shuffle people around and start moving folks around. So Jeff and I had a conversation today about who's going where, when they're going, moving people out temporarily. So there's a lot of logistics involved in the next phase of the project. But so far so good. The general contractor's bought. They're doing a really good job of maintaining and managing the project. So so far so good. The last big piece we have to finalize is IT and security. And I think we got that sorted with today, so we're in good shape.
We've also used Cumberland County Improvement Authority to do right next door, right back of me, the white building, to redo the second floor for the prosecutor. Great job, on time, under budget. Thank you.
Thank you.
Working on many other projects in the county. He has quite a staff with the ability, you know, with architects, with everything you need to put a building together and do it at a cost-effective rate. So, thank Jerry and the whole team.
No, thanks to the commissioners, to Jeff and his staff. Quite frankly, it's a pleasure. Coming to Salem, working in Salem. Sometimes it's easier to work in the community that you're not in, than the community where you live. So we appreciate. I work with all the commissioners on a regular basis, and we appreciate your support. And certainly, if there's anything we can do, we'll be lockstep with you.
And yeah, we just, been working on a budget report for the, 911 for the 700 megahertz system. Today we got the budget, forwarded that to the governor's office, and also
resolution to appoint members to the Salem Community College Board of Trustees, Dorothy Hall. A2, resolution authorizing a contract with Gary R. Giano, DBA Septec LLC for environmental review of septic plans and designs. A3, resolution authorizing submission of a grant application for the National Telecommunications and Information Administration's Middle Mile Broadband Infrastructure Grant Program. And A4, resolution authorizing an agreement with South Jersey Economic Development District for
is it? Oh, now I'm gonna get confused, sorry, guys.
Elmer Harvest Day is following the day after, October 1st, along with the Art Laps Chicken Barbecue, and that's at the Art on Salem Woodstown Road. 25th annual, we're getting into the pumpkin, I hope they got enough water this year, the giant pumpkin car is at the fairgrounds, 3 to 9 in October. Obviously Halloween is around the corner, we're starting to see those, activities. On Sunday, October 2nd, the 9th annual cow run. There's a ham dinner at VFW Post 253 in Nelsonboro on Tuesday the 4th. And that is followed by Business After Hours Networking. And that is at 70 West Main in Pinstrove. That's hosted, or at least promoted by the Chamber of Commerce. Pedricktown Day is October 8th. The South Jersey Pumpkin Show is the 8th and 9th of October, also at the fairgrounds. And on October 12th, they will again be giving away Narcan kits for those who think they may be sometime in need of those. A lot of things going on. That's a month down the road. I will mention a couple more. There's a Ranch Hope benefit at the Grove at Centerton, Story of Triumph and Hope, with Jimmy Wayne, who's a country singer. That's Thursday, October 20th. Trunk or Treat, October 22nd. And elections are coming. Are you gonna go to the candidates forum? Because you're not gonna be there, are you? For the first time in my lifetime. Commissioner Ware will not be presenting at the Get to Know Your Candidates forum, nor will be Commissioner Grissom. We will miss them all, that's for sure. Veterans Dinner Thursday, October 2nd. Let that go with one final shout out, emphasizing again the program that went on at the Sportsman's Club today. I'm really impressed with that. Did I understand you went to it?
We had some officers there, but I was not there.
Definitely worthwhile.
Just a correction on one of the things you said, COVID testing is Tuesday. The flu test is this Thursday, it's a flu shot, so, we just checked it with Virginia Science Fever, and, so it's this Thursday. The other places that we having them, are LAC, Fire and Rescue, Salem Community College, Shallow High School, and Oakland's Municipal Building, so, cover most of the county, these 10. On, one of the exciting things coming up, Sandy Wenzel, our local hero that served in the Army Air Corps as a bombardier, I believe, in the European theater, is turning 100. They're selling it they're celebrating it this Sunday in Elsonboro at 1 o'clock. It's kind of special to me because my mother's 98 and he took her to the prom back in the day, high school day. So there's a connection there. So my mom turned 28, I think, in 2 days. So, great event, like I said, in Nelsonboro VFW, 1 at 1 p.m. this Sunday. Anyone else for special announcements? Hearing none, we'll have an opportunity now for the public, for public comment. And we welcome you to step up to the microphone, state your name and your address.
Ed McKelvey, Alway Township. I'm not sure how far back some of this goes, but I know it's back at least to 2018 that we started petitioning this Board of Commissioners on four-way stops. And I would hope, I noticed that it wasn't on the agenda after attending the Public Works meeting where the Public Works Committee recommended that four-way stops take place. I'm very disappointed at this point that we would kick this can down the road a little bit more and give it more time, each intersection more time for possibly a more severe accidents than what have happened there. And I believe it was mentioned in our safety meeting today in Alway that want our kids involved in accidents? None of us. How many of us want our parents involved in it? None of us. We're not here asking for this just because we like coming over here and bugging people during their meetings. We feel that this is extremely important. It's extremely important. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. At the last meeting, I mentioned it would be this meeting or the next, we made that decision. Public Works came back to me, or came back to us saying, you need to make a decision. We did not get the last study. I asked for it yesterday, and maybe in my email today. I checked before I left, I did not see it, but the commissioners also need to do their due diligence. We need to read the report and the recommendation before we can act on it. It's not just say, okay, let's go. That's why we do these reports. And as you said, we have to pay for it. So,
I got a report that was finished June of 2022. That report was finished. But somebody didn't like the outcome, so they wanted more. That's my vision.
Ed, if you want to come up and say more, that's fine.
Warren Morgan, 33 North Green Street, Alwyn, New Jersey, Alwyn Township Committee. Thank you, fellas, and ladies, and everyone here, for what you guys are doing. I appreciate it. I listened to this when you guys read this out. Alcohol treatment and prevention of alcohol and drugs and overdose preventions and all great stuff here. Child advocacy for the DCP&P. All great stuff for these people in this town. We need to think about protecting them at these intersections too, just the same. Only by a stroke of luck, we have had nothing serious when we had. You guys are doing good work here. This is good stuff. I just ask you to follow through for Alwyn Township on this and do what we can to make this area safer. The people who live at these intersections, I do social media and I'm the first one everybody tags. Warren, start sending me messages. And I like being that guy. My personal preference on these intersections, I really don't have one. Because I really don't go that way. But when the people and the first responders, ambulance, fire department, the study that I've read the study from one end to the other, except for the one that's for another township. Recommendation there. I'm asking you to look into this farther. I hope we can get a decision at the next meeting. And I appreciate what you guys do and think about it. And, we do all this good stuff for everyone else in the county to protect these people at these intersections.
Thank you, Warren. I just, FYI, after the last meeting, I did realize, I don't know how many people go back as far as I go back, but there was that intersection. If I remember right, there was car parking, the truck behind it didn't stop, and the impact drove the, front end loader right through the cab, at that intersection, so.
I'll be live, as I was fire chief, sir. My name is Joe Quadler. I'm from Alway also. I've been a member of the Alway Fire Company for 33 years. And the case that you're referring to, Mr. Lowry, I was chief on. That was a school bus that was passing through that intersection. It wasn't stopped, it was passing through the intersection. Coming from Woodstown, which had the stop sign, was a South State work truck. It had a work roller on the back. Hit the bus broadside, injured 17 students on that, and killed the guy that was driving that truck. He blew the stop sign. 33 years I've been going out there, guys. I've been cutting people out of cars, I've been holding little kids and stuff like that. I don't know what the reluctance is to make the intersection safer. I mean, I really can't. As an individual, as a professional engineer, and as a first responder, there's 5 of you up there that are preventing a devastating accident intersection from being resolved. Yeah, there's 2 others, yeah, we respond to both of them, but the one on Alloway Freesburg Road, Watson's Mill Road, is a death trap. 44 accidents in 5 years that we've responded to.
Which one is that?
The Alloway Road and Watson's Mill.
Okay.
With a blinking light currently, that we're asking to be made into 4
across many intersections through my years. They do work.
Oh, no doubt.
Thank you.
Brian Lee, I'm a long-term resident of Alley Township, I live 400 Johannes Freesburg Road. I'm also an EMT with Alley Township Volunteer Ambulance. I've been out those two crossroads, Commissioner Pikeman and the Allen one, many, many times. You know, we've been on rollovers, we've been on very serious accidents out there. It doesn't take a study, it doesn't take a genius. It takes somebody to know if you got 4 cars stopping at an intersection, you're at least gonna slow it down, and so the accidents aren't gonna be study why it takes all this time when anybody with any sense can come out and see if all 4 ways stop, you're gonna cut down on accidents. I mean, do we have to have another fatality out there before anything gets done? That's all I had to say. Thank you.
Patty Bond, Cornerstone. It seems like a tough act to follow, but I'll give my full couple against that you didn't take care of. I don't remember this being mentioned, but it's a Jeeps and Hoses event at Carnes Point Fire. It's this Saturday. It's a family event. It's kind of I'm not seeing the time. I think it starts at 9. I'm not sure how long it goes. Jeep show and
9 a.m.
9 o'clock. But what is it an all day thing?
9 a.m. to the question mark.
Yeah.
The flyer didn't have an end time.
Yeah. So anyway, sounds like a nice day. Also, the Pennsville Little League Challenger League are having a sub sale, which goes from October 1st to December 31st. Cost is $9. That's to help with the field improvements for the Challenger team. Also, there's another trunk or treat, Resources for Independent Living, 193 North Broadway in Pennsville, October 25th from 4 to 6. That's it. Thanks.
Have to come play Patty's role tonight. So Salem County Women's Services 35th anniversary dinner is gonna be Thursday, October.
Name and address, please.
Lynn Donaldson, 80 Main Street, Salem, New Jersey. The Salem County Women's Services 35th anniversary dinner, Thursday, October 20th, 6 to 9. The Inn, Salem County, Salem Country Club Inn, at whatever it's called down on the road.
Is there a price for that? How do you get tickets?
$60.
That's the same night as we had a children's function.
Hi, my name is Anthony Delia, 376 Alloway Aldine Road in Alloway. I'm a resident of the street where one of these bad intersections exists. And as the other folks have mentioned, it seems like there's an accident there every week, repeatedly, dangerously. So I have questions, actually. I'm hoping maybe to get a few responses. Some have been covered. First question, whomever conducted this traffic study that we've heard about, I'm assuming that they're a reliable, trusted authority, right? We have no reason to discount whatever recommendations they're making. Is that correct?
Lowest responsible.
So they're, in other words,
They're responsible, yes.
we would all as a community trust their decisions, whatever they're suggesting ultimately, correct? That's it, that's yes?
Yes.
Thank you. So I guess the next question I originally wrote, does the traffic study recommend changes to these intersections that are in question?
I've been told it does.
So we've been told.
A couple of commissioners have read it, 3 of us have not.
Okay, so the reason we've not made a change of any kind is because not everyone has seen the recommendations, is that correct? That's correct, thank you. So my question would be, I guess initially, assuming that not everyone has seen these recommendations, if changes to the traffic patterns are unattainable, undesirable, is there anything stopping us now from improving the existing signage, the existing traffic pattern, by adding additional stop signs, rumble strips leading up to this intersection, lighted stop signs? Is there anything preventing this community, this county, or this body from making better, changes, improvements to the existing signage, the existing traffic pattern?
That's definitely a possibility.
Okay, so can we consider that? Is there?
Absolutely.
Okay, and when could we expect as a community to hear an answer, like, among
2 weeks from tonight.
So 2 weeks from tonight, we will hear whether or not the study is accepted, the changes will be made to the traffic pattern.
On all three intersections, not just.
Okay. And if the traffic pattern is not changed, we'll have a decision about improving existing signage, existing traffic patterns that people are aware of. Okay. Just my general opinion, I'm not sure that I'd like to see that intersection become a four-way stop, quite honestly. But it's quite clear that due to the number of accidents, and the near misses, and I've witnessed some, and I know people who have totaled their vehicles there because people have run the stop signs, that something needs to be done. And I think these are simple, at least for adjusting the existing traffic pattern, simple, affordable solutions. Little effort required to make those things happen, and I think it will potentially save lives at that dangerous intersection. So, thank you.
Excuse me, could you spell your last name for me, please?
It's D as in dog, E-L-I-A.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, very good question. Everyone keeps bringing up rumble strips, which is I've been thinking about that for quite a while now. Can rumble strips on the part that says stop right now, the one-way stop, can they be applied before the 2 weeks? Vinyl rumble strips, not the gouge ones. Can they be applied?
I think that on the previous streets we've done in the county, yes, they have been out, yes. Or quoted, I should say.
It would probably,
We could quote it out if that's the desirable. I don't know, if
Anything
we
would
got
help
two
at this
weeks
point. I mean, you wake the people up who have the stop sign. If one car stops at the light, say, I mean, we go out there tonight, if I had a machine, I'd go out tonight and put the rumble strips down.
Something leading up to the intersection, for sure.
Yes.
To make people aware that the intersection is
Anything,
coming.
anything
You
to
see,
help.
they stop late and they roll through. They don't know what's coming, whether they're distracted or whether they're, new to the area. It's a simple fix.
A week or so, nothing. But again, I'm told by the, the timing of a company that's going to put them in, because we don't
resolution authorizing executive session, County of Salem, matters relating to litigation, negotiations, and the attorney-client privilege.